Close Ron Plush, father of Kyle Plush, who died in the parking lot at 7 Hils School in April 2018, and Chief Eliot Isaac address the investigation at Cincinnati City Council. The Enquirer, Kareem Elgazzar, the Cincinnati police union boss, seems to have run out of empathy for Ron Plush, unfortunately just a few days before his first Father's Day without his son. Hils caught a case of Wendell Young foot-and-mouth disease on Monday, telling the Enquirer's Sharon Coolidge that Plush is micromanaging the investigation into his 16-year-old son's senseless death and City Council is politicizing the whole thing. All of that may very well be true. But we didn't need the thin-skinned police union boss saying it publicly right now. It's poor leadership. It does nothing to advance the effort to fix an archaic 911 system. The officers Hils represents should be embarrassed, especially those fine men and women who are parents. It's still only been 2 months since the 911 system failed young Kyle Plush, who was left to suffocate in the back of his minivan in the 7 Hils school parking lot. The system hasn't been completely fixed yet. Some questions remain unanswered about the investigation. Ron Plush, who has been persistent but respectful throughout the process, has every right to keep demanding answers and pushing for change. PX column, police will be held accountable. Mayor Cranley says look, it's Hils' job to defend his officers, who inadvertently made mistakes on April 10. Hils had previously been publicly defending the cops without criticizing Mr. Plush or City Council. Hils, whose teenage daughter died of a heart condition a few years ago, initially had expressed sympathy for Plush and his family on social media and in media interviews. But the day City Council decided to hire outside investigators to look into the cops' response to the Plush emergency call, Hils had to run his mouth. The police union is used to calling the shots at City Hall and getting whatever it wants. But some everyday citizen from Mount Washington has come along and revoked their free pass. Accountability is mandatory, Plush told City Council's Law Committee on Monday. Damn you, accountability. How dare you make government officials squirm? City Council members are making Plush out to be an expert on the investigation, Hils said. No, they're not. But maybe if the Cincinnati police hadn't done a half-baked investigation into the incident in the first place, Mr. Plush would already have all his answers. Maybe there wouldn't have been a need to order up an independent investigation. There's certainly nothing wrong with Plush asking for it. He clearly wants the police department to take ownership and officially acknowledge the 2 responding officers messed up by not getting out of their cruiser that tragic afternoon in Madisonville. That was reiterated in comments Plush made to the committee. We need to start stating specific facts versus generalities. An example of this is to stop using vehicle or car in correspondence relating to the events. Call taker, dispatcher and responding officers knew they were looking for a van. Plush is a father in pain. He's pissed off. Above that, he is keeping the heat on so no other kid dies at the hands of an inept emergency response system. He truly doesn't want anyone else to feel his heartache. Plush is also relentlessly keeping the heat on City Hall because he has watched how these jokers operate for way too long. They talk a big game about fixing things, but then take no action. They all knew years ago the 911 system needed fixed, save for the 3 new council members who started in January. City Hall officials pass the buck better than a bank teller. Well, Ron Plush is sick of it. In some ways, he represents Cincinnati's 300,000 citizens better than any of the 10 elected officials at City Hall. Is filling a leadership void this city has lacked as Mayor John Cranley and City Council have fought over stupid political stuff like the streetcar. Guess what? We're now heading for another stupid political fight. So yes, this is going to be politicized, and Hils is part of the reason why. His comments have set the table for a potential nasty showdown between the cops and City Council. You wait, that independent investigation, led by Chief Investigator Captain Obvious, is going to show the cops didn't do enough. City Council members, most of whom are scared to death to say a negative word about the police union, could then leverage the independent investigation to try to force policy and maybe personnel changes in the police department. Unfortunately, Plush will end up a pawn in the whole thing. Photo Enquirer political columnist Jason Williams. Photo Enquirer file. Politics Extra is a column looking inside Greater Cincinnati and Ohio politics. Follow Enquirer political columnist Jason Williams on Twitter at @JWilliamsCincy. Reader share this story. https://sin.ci/2sty7x